What's the story, everybody? Welcome to another episode of What Happens Here, Las Vegas' newest sports and entertainment program. I'm your host, Marcus Deegan. Thanks for popping along with us once again for another great episode of our show, shot here from my house in Las Vegas. What's the story, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's staying safe, staying home in this quarantine season. I don't know what it is about this week, but you know that song When Irish Eyes Are Smiling? When Irish Eyes Are Smiling. There's a song that kind of goes like that. Well, there's been a lot of smiling eyes this year, well, especially this week, because I've interviewed three of them and I'm about to interview another one. This guy isn't an MMA fighter this time, however. Let me give you a little bit of a background on this young man. Online funny man. A lot of his videos have gone viral on YouTube and Instagram. This guy is really, really making a mark for himself in the Irish comedy scene with his hysterical, creative comedy that he does. He's becoming a very popular figure. You may know him as DC. Some call him as the Dazzlement, the Big Daz. I like to call him Dirty Darren. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Darren Conway. What's up?
What's up, man? Dirty Daz. Dirty Darren.
Do you like that?
I never got called that one before, but it's up there with the best, man.
Well, you could definitely use that anytime you want.
I'm going to use it. I'm going to change my Twitter handle to Dirty Darren. Okay.
You're welcome. What's the story, brother? What's happening in your world right now?
Oh, not much, man. Just chilling out, taking it day by day, going on some walks, creating content, just keeping contemporary and just kind of keeping the head down and not going out,
Now, how's the Irish people's moods these days with this quarantine? How's the feel around that town that you're in?
Like, the feeling at the moment isn't too bad. Like, I think everyone is just kind of accepting it for what it is, and they're kind of just going about their business. And there's more people outside than ever, even though there shouldn't be. But obviously, there's a 2 km restriction on where you can go. But everyone's just keeping to the 2 km and just going out and keeping the distance, So everything's going well at the moment.
So, like, it's in these kind of times is when people kind of look to laughter and look to comedians and to comedy. Do you kind of feel a responsibility now that you're home locked down to try and pump out as much content as you can?
Yeah, so to an extent, I would kind of have a responsibility now because there's so many people watching at the moment that when I post, I expect like a big reaction sometimes, that way. So going by the reaction of people, I kind of have to perform to that level every time, So but I just take it day by day and just kind of come up with ideas and then hope for the best, really. That way, man.
That's the thing is I suppose in this time right now, it's, being creative people like yourself, you've got a lot of time to think about skits and scenarios and
of course,
writing more skits and writing more material. It's got to be hard when you're pumping out as much content as you've got to constantly come up with new things. It's not like you're a comedian that goes on tour and does the same shit every night.
Every night, yeah.
You've got to pull out actual different jokes every time. How hard and difficult is that?
Well, it's not too difficult because I think it's just in me to create this kind of humor out of nowhere, kind of spontaneous stuff, and off the cuff. So I'm kind of blessed that way that I can just come out with things like every 2 or 3 days, and sometimes I get bursts of ideas that I could post one every day, and then I could go dry for 3 days or something, 4 days, and then come back with a better one then again, that kind of way. So
how's you've got some pretty iconic characters. The ones that I like Mike Hunt and Peter File, and of course Mad Billy. Is that based on a character that you knew growing up, or is that just out of your brain?
Mad Billy. Yeah, it's based on sort of just the kind of typical drunk lad that's down the village of where you're from.
Right.
And he's always drunk, and all the kind of teenagers take the piss out of him. One of them kind of characters.
Yep.
So there's a few of them. It's not a specific person, but it's just kind of based off that idea. So he's kind of down and out, having a few drinks, and people bother him, and everything bothers him,
Yeah, I know that. It's kind of fucking sounds a lot like myself, actually.
You can tell by all the drink in the background, man.
This show is proudly fueled by proper 12 Irish whiskey. Now, what part of Dublin are you from?
I'm from a town called Finglas. or a village or whatever you want to call it. It's a small kind of community, and it's known for kind of like joyriding. Do you know what joyriding is?
Yeah.
Rob cars and stuff, and police all around every area all the time. But it's not too bad, like, you know, like it's like everywhere. It's good and bad, but it's mainly good from my perspective, you know, that kind of way.
Yeah. So from my research and from what I've done, you've been had a highly controversial dating relationship with Mary Lou McDonald. Is that still happening now, or?
You're really putting me out there, aren't you, man? No, we cut it off, like, so we're not seeing each other anymore. But it was more of just an online fling back and forward with the odd tweet. So
yeah.
It was nice while it lasted.
What about live shows? Are they in your future?
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, I'm working on some at the moment. I'm gonna kind of produce what I've been doing online to the stage. Hopefully, if it goes according to plan, and I don't let the nerves get the better of me, I'll get up there.
But you struggle with that, mate. Do you think you would struggle with performing in front of a live audience?
I think I would struggle at the start because it's a learning process, and going into like a fish out of water kind of vibe. So I'd say once I get in there, I would be all right after like a couple of shows, you know, that way. It's just about getting over the initial barrier of being in front of people instead of being at home on your phone and with the cameras and stuff. So,
well, buddy, I live in Las Vegas and I've seen a lot of comedians, and you know, I've been around this town for a long, long time, and I can say without a doubt, I think you would be huge over here. I think you would have a huge career. I think that you would be, I think you would be very, very successful live as you are online. So I really can't wait for that. So
cheers,
is that your future goal? Is to have your own live show, to perform in somewhere like Las Vegas? What's the goal for you?
The goal, like, I've always wanted to act in films, like in movies. You know, obviously where you are right now would be a perfect spot, in and around that vicinity. But like, it's a big ask for someone from where I'm from, you know, that way. But it does happen. Like, it happens to people, and I think if you work hard enough, you can get to them points. But for now, I just focus on doing what I'm doing. Like, I'd like to get like kind of a sketch series going that I can pitch to some programs, maybe. Yeah. Even if I could do that online, really, on YouTube, and get something going there and kind of see what happens.
So, if anyone out there that's watching this, we're going to put all of Darren's Instagram and Twitter and his YouTube. We're going to put it right here on the screen so you guys get to give him a follow and give him a shout out. Well, listen, bro. Sport. What's your favourite sport?
Soccer. Soccer would be my favourite sport, yeah.
Yeah, and so who's your team?
Man United. Manchester United.
Now, how did they do this season?
Well, the season is officially like not finished, so
that's right. That's right. That's true. How were they doing?
Up until the point of the season not being completed, they were like shit at the start, like, and then it was hot and cold, and they were turning corners, and they were doing well, and then they were doing bad. So it was a bit puzzly, like, but they were definitely onto something. They signed a player called Bruno Fernandes, and he was tucked nice in the midfield there, and there was you could see a kind of a change happening. But it's unfortunate that that happened then, and then didn't get to complete that kind of season, you know.
Well, mate, I'm sure that once all this is over and done with, everything will kick back to normal. We can get back to our sports.
That's it.
Our comedy, and mate, I can definitely see you. I can see you going a long way with what you do. I think you're extremely talented, and you have such an original, creative idea that's hysterical. And I mean, I know Irish comedy is just great. I've always loved it, but I think that it needs to be expanded more around the world. So we want to try and get you out there a lot more, bro. I just want to say thanks very much for coming and have a chat on this show today. You're a
appreciate it, man.
I love watching this stuff, and mate, I wish you nothing but the best for your career in the future.
You too, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for Mr. Darren Conway. Hey guys, Marcus here. Today's episode was proudly sponsored by Team Guilty Clothing, Concord Apparel, Rise Fight Gear, Molcata Clothing Wear. How could we forget Fit Guru Fight Retreats in Las Vegas? Of course, Wildcats for all your cannabis needs. And of course, Baller Balm for when your beard needs to be money. Today's episode was fueled by Proper 12, the finest, the tastiest liquid gold on the planet.